Also, the government now, finally, how many times have we asked for this? The government is finally cracking down on the dangerous Amish farmers.
I love the story because it's a story that I hate to love, actually. I mean, it's incredibly agonizing.
Oh, my gosh. It's so insane. For nearly 30 years, Amos Miller, and you know he's Amish when he has a name like Amos. Amos Miller has owned and operated Miller's Organic Farm. It's an all-natural Amish farm located in Bird in Hand, Pennsylvania. It's perfect. I mean, how perfect is this? It's an Amish organic farm in Bird in Hand, Pennsylvania.
I know.
Come on. Like many Amish farmers, Miller likes to do things the old-fashioned way. He doesn't use electricity, fertilizer, or gasoline, and he also stays away from modern preservatives. The farm's reputation has grown over the years, and now it boasts a private buyers club of approximately 4,000 members. Miller has sold all sorts of food to his buyers, such as organic eggs, raw milk, grass-fed beef and cheese, fresh produce. Anybody who's been to Amish country, just, driving by or driving through the area, and you stop at one of their road, little food stands. You know how good this stuff is. Their butter is great. The jam and jellies are great. It's just they're good at what they do, and really decent people for the most part. I'm sure they have their issues like everybody else, but for the most part, really good people. And that's what one of his customers said. They're good people. Their place is very clean, and their produce is excellent. In recent years, however, the farm has found itself in the crosshairs of the U.S. Department of Agriculture because of its failure to comply with federal farming regulations. Started in 2016 when two listeriosis illnesses that occurred in 2014 were traced back to raw milk sold by Miller's Organic Farm. Okay? 2 cases of listeria. 2. Both infected people had to be hospitalized. Oh, boy. One died from the illness. Wow, that's a 50% death rate. That's scary. The USDA has been trying to bring the farm into compliance with federal regulations ever since, but it's been a long, hard series of court battles, in part because Miller has been, by his own admission, less than fully cooperative with the government. He's facing fines and jail time for his actions.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fines.
Dang.
I mean, that which will shut him down.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't even have that. The story reached a climax in March of this year when a federal judge ordered Miller to cease and desist all meat sales and authorized armed U.S. Marshals to use reasonable force to gain access to Miller's farm so a court expert could inspect it. The expert, accompanied by the armed marshals, took an inventory of all Miller's meat. And federal inspectors are now returning every few months to make sure he hasn't sold any of it. So he can't sell any of his meat. It wasn't even the meat that caused the problem, apparently. What do you inspect the meat for? Unbelievable. For many people, the traditional lifestyle of the Amish is a curious phenomenon. Any pluralistic society is bound to have a few nonconformists, of course, but the Amish are not few and far between. Here are entire communities which, largely due to religious convictions, have renounced the pleasures and conveniences of modern life. For some, the Amish are simply different. They're old-fashioned, even uncivilized in the eyes of some. But before taking this as a given, consider the case of Amos Miller. Consider, in particular, his employees and customers and the armed U.S. Marshals who entered his property uninvited, and ask yourself this question. Who exactly is being uncivilized here? Is it Miller or is it the government? While Miller, his employees, and his customers have all engaged in peaceful, voluntary transactions, federal agents have used overt threats of brute force to get Miller to comply with the terms of a third party. Yeah, that doesn't seem very civilized.
Reasonable force.
So if the government doesn't insist on compliance with safety regulations, can we ensure everyone's food is safe? They're saying it might be force, but it's for their own good. That's what we're told.
We know best.
People could get sick and die if the government doesn't crack down on illegal farming operations. And that, I guess that is a possibility, but I don't know. I guess you are deciding for yourself whether or not you're going to buy his goods,
yes.
right? Nobody's forcing you to buy
Correct.
the stuff that he's selling. And 2 people getting sick out of, he's had to have, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of transactions by now.
Oh, yes.
Come on. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. We won't even take a look at what the vaccine may or may not be doing to people. We won't even check into it. I'm sure there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing to see here. Move along. Nothing's ever happened from any vaccine, right? But 2 people who bought stuff at an Amish farm got sick, and so we got to shut this guy completely
Shut him down.
Make sure he doesn't make a living anymore. That's really pathetic. Really, really pathetic.
Because he's against the U.S. government, right? I mean,
Yep.
That's the whole deal. And he's not necessarily against the U.S. government. He just doesn't, I'm living on my own.
Yeah, he just wants to be left alone.
I'm doing my own thing here.
Leave me alone.
This is what we're supposed to do in America.